I've spent nearly a decade trying to learn how to build muscle, and in that time, managed to finally find out how to actually do it. And I've actually put on around about 20 kilos of muscle since starting, going from 74 kilos all the way up to in around about the same condition, 94 kilos. And I just want to show to you today the three key points that I think I have learned across this whole process that if you apply to yourself will just massively accelerate your progress. And I'll get straight into it. The first one being pick a program and stick to it. It's very easy to get shiny object syndrome, especially if you're anything like me, trying to find the newest and best exercise or the new split that you should try just because it's supposed to be this magical thing. Honestly, it's not. It's not going to be that much different to the one that you're already running. So like I say, the biggest thing I'd say is pick a program that you think will work and then use that as the base for honestly as long as you can. If you can stick to the general structure of that program for, say, 6 months, you're going to be in a way better position than chopping and changing your program every couple of months. What I would say though is you can absolutely try to optimize that program that you choose as you go through that process. So having a look at how many sets you're doing per muscle group or per exercise as well, potentially swapping or changing around exercises that maybe aren't feeling so great or aren't progressing very well, but make those changes fairly rare, because at the end of the day, the longer that you can stick to a certain exercise, the better you're going to get at it, the stronger you're going to get, and then the more muscle you're going to grow off the back of that. So definitely apply that. And honestly, I think that first one is going to be a game changer. In terms of choosing the correct program from the get-go, start with something really simple. 4 days a week, upper lower, making sure you've got a horizontal press, a vertical press, a horizontal pull, a vertical pull, a hip hinge, and a squat movement pattern. Have all of them in and add in the extras like your bicep curls, tricep extensions, your laterals, etc. And honestly, you've built yourself there a really good program. Now, there's of course tweaks you can make to make it that little bit better, which is what we do from a coaching perspective, and we've done that to help hundreds of guys do the exact same and build that muscle. So if you do want a free POA, all you need to do is scroll down below, click my Instagram and DM me asking for the bulking POA. I'll ask you some questions and then we'll put that together for you to hopefully set out the next 6 months and allow you to progress. The second point that I think has been a massive one for me is actually taking your nutrition seriously. I think it can be a little bit more boring than the training side of things, but honestly, it does make a huge difference. The first time I actually got my nutrition to click and I felt like it was in a really good position was a couple of years back, maybe 5 years ago. And honestly, it felt like I was suddenly taking gear. I obviously wasn't. I was not taking steroids, but it felt like I was because I was making so much progress in the gym. And the thing I did for that was, again, similar to what I was just saying with the training, actually being consistent with eating enough food, enough protein every single day, day after day, not missing a beat. That little change there will be an absolute game changer. So you're obviously trying to grow muscle. You need to be in a surplus. Initially, get into roughly a 300 calorie surplus. Again, if you ask for the POA, I can sort of give you a good idea of what that might look like for you. But 300 calorie surplus, get 2 grams of protein per kilo of body weight. And if you hit those two, along with decent micronutrition profile, getting plenty of carbohydrates and good quality fats in, you're going to go from making very little progress to making an outrageous amount of progress. But the key is really build a system that's going to allow you to be consistent with it. That for me, honestly, looks like cooking twice a week, prepping my meals. So I've got my meal 2 and meal 3 already cooked and ready to take into work. My breakfast and my meal 4 are really quick, easy options. I go for oats and I go for yogurt with some toppings, obviously, to bump up the calories. But you need to create that system that's going to make it very easy for you to hit the calories that you need to, for you to hit the protein that you need to, and that is going to get you freaking massive. So that's point number 2. Point number 3, and this is one that probably a lot of you have heard before, but potentially haven't really put enough focus into, and that is progressive overload. Now, the thing I want you to understand about progressive overload is it is a byproduct of the work that you've already done. So the previous training session, the nutritional habits that you put in place, the sleep that you got in between your previous session and the session that you're now doing, is what's going to cause that progressive overload. So utilize your training performance as a metric to go, yep, I've progressed and I've done everything that I possibly could within the week to actually get that progress. Or if you don't progress, almost every single time for me, especially when I'm in a surplus, I can say, you know what, I probably didn't progress there because my sleep yesterday, I didn't put enough focus on it. I only got 6.5 hours. And then maybe the day before, I didn't quite get the calories in that I need to. There's almost always a pretty reasonable explanation for why you've not progressed. So utilize progressive overload as a byproduct of everything else. But with that, you need to properly force it. If you are trying to progress in the gym and you're going into those sessions, you're looking at your previous numbers, what weight have I lifted, how many reps did I get, and then you're going from there and thinking, right, I am going to beat this. That little mindset shift is going to make you make so much more progress and really build you a hell of a lot of muscle. Little bonus point for point number 4 is if you want to build 20 kilos of muscle like I have, it will take a long time. It's not going to happen in a year. It's not going to be happening in 2 years. If you're lucky, it will happen in 5 years. But for me, it's been nearly a 10-year period. So I'm looking at 2 to 3 kilos per year. And honestly, I wouldn't change it. I think the progress that you make, even though it is slow, it's so rewarding to know that you've actually put in that work. So give yourself a decent amount of time. You can definitely make really good progress in the first couple of years. But if you really want to build a lot of muscle and seriously change your whole structure of how your body looks, then you're going to have to commit to the long term. So yeah, hopefully you found this video helpful. If you do want that free POA, scroll down, click my Instagram, ask for the bulking POA, and I'll send it across to you. But other than that, see you in the next one. Ciao.